Weight Loss Surgery Chapter 9. My weight loss so far. And goals? As I've said in previous chapters, I've gotten up to 400 pounds. And at that time, I'm not even sure how high I got in weight because I stopped wanting to look at the scale. My scale at home didn't work, and I just didn't want to go into doctor's appointments and get weighed. I didn't want to know because I was so insecure and depressed at the time. I didn't want to make it worse, and I knew I was not good. In adulthood, my average weight had been 350. My lowest weight from like early teenage years to now had been 291, and that was during wrestling training when I was working out and portioning well for food. So that ended up being one of my goals. It's 5 weeks after surgery. At surgery, I was 314 or 360, one of those. Let's say 360. And I am now, actually, I don't even know what I am now. Let's go check. I'm back. Okay, so I checked. I am now 271. That's even 20 pounds lighter, less than my lowest for a long time. So like I'm super proud of that. It ends up being about 41, 42 pounds of loss in 5 weeks. Great. I'm doing well. And that continues. That's going to keep going. I'm going to keep losing weight. What are my goals going forward? I've actually hit one. I'll talk more about work in a next chapter, but one of my goals was to get down from a 3XL/4XL to lower sizes. Just in general, like getting into a 2XL work shirt at work meant the world to me, and it happened just recently. I actually ordered a 3XL and a 2XL just in case because I knew I would need a 2XL, and I was fully planning to have to wear the 3XL and then have to eventually go down to the 2XL. When I got the shirts, I put on the 2XL first, hoping, crossing my fingers, and it fit perfectly. I was like, that's great. I'm so happy. So I ended up taking the 3XL shirt back and said, can you use that? Can you take it back? Because I don't need it. I'm wearing the 2XL shirts. Inside, I was super happy because that's one of my goals. And now my goal shifts, and I am hoping to eventually get into a XL, which would be insane. I think that's where I'm going to end up stopping. Not by choice, but I mean, like, I think that's where my plateau will be, where I'll end up losing weight to. In terms of numbers, like how many pounds I want to end up being, it doesn't matter. Like, as long as I lose weight, I'm happy. I feel like I'm losing weight. There's a lot of sag. My belly is sagging more. My arms are sagging more. Like, I'll show you. Look at that. There's a big sag there. Lots of sag there. Some in my legs. I see it in my face. Like, I see that, like, it's thinner, I guess. I don't know. But it's, like, gradual. And some people will notice it and some people won't. If you see me more often, I think you'll notice it. Whereas other people would be like, I don't know. When you see someone in general, you have a vision of them when you're not there, and then when you see them again, you expect that vision. Unless it's a drastic loss or drastic difference, you don't notice too much unless you see them more often, and so you have more to compare to. What's funny is when I went back to work, my brain was kind of like, I wonder if anyone will notice the difference, because these people knew me for 2 days or 2 shifts, and then I went and had to have surgery and was away for a good month, less, for a good 2-3 weeks, and I lost a bit of weight. So my brain was like, will these people notice? Will anyone go, oh, you lost weight? But they don't really know me. They only knew me for 2 shifts and didn't really know me. I was just some guy that started working there. It's weird how your brain works like that. I'll discuss more about work in my next chapter. In terms of goals, there's like some weird goals. Like, I want to be able to go to an amusement park and go on any adult ride without worrying, will I fit? because I've had issues in the past, the point where it's ingrained on me where I'm like, I'm not going to go on rides because I don't want that embarrassment of doing the walk of shame. I can't fit in the ride. I remember specifically, and this one hurts me to the core because my family went to Universal Studios in Florida, and I was 15. I'm not sure what my age was. I was there with my little brother, and he wanted to go on, at the time, I think it was a Hulk ride. It was the big green roller coaster in the middle of the place. And I was like, that's great. Like, I would love to go on my first real roller coaster. Outside the roller coaster, they have examples of the seats, the chairs that you sit in, so that you can see if you'll fit, pretty much. So we went up to it. He could fit, but I could not fit in the bigger chair. And my parents wouldn't take him on the ride, so he didn't go, I think. I don't think anyone went with him. And I felt horrendous. I felt embarrassed because even like there's other people there wanting to try the seats before they go in the line. So you're waiting in a small line to get to check this out, and then you get your mini walk of shame after that. But more so the feeling of not being able to take him on the ride when he really wanted to. So I want to, just one sec. So now that goal is there, that I want to be able to go to an amusement park and be able to not worry about getting on whatever ride I want to get on. Potentially my height might be too much, like I'm 6'3", but it shouldn't be. It's just my girth, and I don't want that to be an issue anymore. I want to be able to not worry about that, and more importantly, be able to take my son on rides when we go to an amusement park. And I think that would mean the world to me. Of course, I have other goals that I would love, like getting into smaller clothing, being able to shop anywhere, like being able to find my size of clothes wherever I want, and not having to scour through to try to find the one 2XL or the one, well, not even 2XL. And then it was like the one 3XL, or putting on that 3XL that I hope will fit and it just doesn't fit because it's just too small. Other goals being having more energy, being able to jump up and wanting to play with my son outside, go for more walks, feeling more energy to exercise because I want to start exercising more. Those kinds of things are important. Even right now, I don't have the energy. I'm not getting enough protein, not getting enough food in me. Having to deal with the after the complications, having to deal with all that stuff because it's still hitting me. So everyone's goals can be different, and those are some of mine. Next chapter will be talking about work, and I'll cry less.